new music threw me off.
Yeah, it was kind of different.
Yeah, soothing indeed. But February 22nd, we are live doing at least one rookie mock draft. We might even do another one if we have enough people in here willing to do it. So I know people will start joining as we go live. We already got William in there, who's joined up at the 111. And I'm excited. We got some news like right before we went live, something about Matthew Stafford. They're going to let him explore. They're going to let Stafford talk to other teams.
Oh, yeah.
They said.
Yeah. That's strange. I think it goes back to it's okay to move on a year early than a year late. That was a Belichick thing,
Yeah, so the note was, while the priority remains to return to LA, the Rams have given Matthew Stafford's agent permission to speak with other clubs. They want to get a feel for what the trade market is for him, but apparently they want a first-round pick. I don't know if that's going to happen unless it's a very late one, but I don't know who.
I hope Rodgers doesn't end up in LA, man. I don't know what their grand scheme of thing is. I just kind of wish he'd go away. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not him. It's just all the reporting about him. So.
Yeah, I mean, he was still pretty good last year. So
28 touchdowns. That's pretty darn good.
Yeah.
Stafford only had 20. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, you're fine. Stafford what?
Thought he only had 20 touchdowns.
Maybe, yeah. I mean, Kyron scored over 30 in the last 2 years, so that does rushing. But yeah, we are doing a Dynasty rookie mock draft. So link is here at the top of the chat if you want to join it. Hop in there. We have a bunch of open spots. If we don't fill it up, we'll just start it and we'll kind of draft how I would draft things or how we would draft things. But we'd like to get kind of a full load of guys in there, as many as we can if possible. So we are playing with landing spots. So it divided it into two different chats here, but I try to link the mock draft that we're basing all of this off of. It's February 22nd. We're a week out from the combine. So this will probably be potentially our last one before the actual combine happens. So that's always going to change things. But we'll go over some of the landing spots that we have here that we're playing with. We have Travis Hunter going number 2 overall to the Browns. Of course, Travis Hunter, the big question with him is what position he's going to play. He is going to the combine as a corner. So I don't know if that means he's leaning towards playing corner or what, but I think that's going to bring him down a little bit in people's drafts. We have Cam Ward, 3rd overall to the Giants. Shedeur Sanders, 6th overall to the Raiders. Tet McMillan is a Saint. Luther Burden is the 2nd wide receiver off the board, is a Cowboy. Usually you almost always see the Cowboys go Genty here. Everyone is mocking Genty to the Cowboys here. But here it is Luther Burden. Tyler Warren, 14th overall, the tight end out of Penn State to the Colts. Ashton Genty is a Bronco, falls to the 20th pick, which, I was talking about this yesterday. I could see Genty as soon as the 6th overall pick with the Raiders. I can see him going to the Raiders. I can see him going to the Saints, to the Bears, sneaky 49ers potentially, Cowboys obviously, Atlanta. Not Atlanta, Arizona. I can see him going to Cincinnati. I can see him going to obviously Denver and other teams. So
Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
That's where I'd like him to go. Denver or Pittsburgh.
Yeah, well, here he goes to Denver, 20th overall. Emeka Ibuka, Ohio State wide receiver, is a Steeler. Colston Loveland reunites with Harbaugh and is a Charger. Jackson Dart makes it into the first round. He's been getting some hype. Seems to be establishing himself in the mock draft community as the QB3. He goes 26th to the Rams. So we either think that Stafford's gone or they're trying to find the replacement for Stafford here. in a year. Matthew Golden, the Texas receiver, is a Titan. Travion Henderson is a Raider. Caleb Johnson out of Iowa is a Cowboy. So they get Caleb Johnson here. Jalen Royals is a Cardinal. Mason Taylor is the tight end out of LSU, is a Bengal. Harold Fannin Jr. Out of Bowling Green is a Bronco. Trey Harris is a Charger. Elijah Arroyo is a Chief. I think people are going to fall in love with that one there for sure. Jalen Milroe is a Brown in the third round, quarterback out of Alabama. We have two TCU receivers going back-to-back, Savion Williams to the Raiders and Jack Besh to the Patriots. Elick Eilmanner is a Bronco in the third round. Isaiah Bond is a Texan. Jaden Higgins out of Iowa State is a Raven. Quinn Ewers is a Jet in the third round. Quinshon Judkins is a Brown. Omarion Hampton falls all the way to the end of the third round to the Vikings. And then Gunnar Helm is a Ram. So this is kind of the world we're playing in. Obviously, you can draft other people if you like other people. And I believe all these people are in the database, but there are still some guys that are not in the database. So that's the landing spots. I'd like to get some more people in here before we start up, but we'll give it just a few more minutes before we do start up. But join our rookie mock draft here. Again, I'll send the link out so that you can join, and we'll answer Vic's question here. What are your thoughts on Olave in a one quarterback league with 12 teams compared to rookie picks? So what I would trade Olave for potentially, I probably in this 107 to 107 onwards, maybe 108 onwards range. To me, he's like a mid to late first round pick. I don't think I would go higher than the 107. The 107 is also a little bit up in the air, but maybe from the 108 to the 112 is kind of where I would value Olave here. So yeah, what do you think? Any ideas there? I mean, after we do the draft, like essentially who we would be trading Olave for.
I think the Saints are going to be a dumpster fire for a couple of years. It seems like, that they've reached their, it's like they've spent their credit card and the bill has come due here. I mean, it's kind of been that way every year. So I just don't know about the production. I'm just thinking about the production of Olave and how that compares. But I think you were right, though. I think you were talking the latter part of the first round. If you're looking for a trade partner, is that what we're talking about?
Yeah. He is entering his fourth year. So what I know they have to decide on the fifth year this year for him, right? They would have to decide on the fifth year. So that'll be interesting because I think we feel like with Olave, he's kind of like DJ Moore or Terry McLaurin, where it's like, yeah, they've given you good seasons, but they're not quite difference makers, top 12, top 15 guys, but we know they could be given the right situation, given the right landing spot. So like DJ Moore with his 1 year with Justin Fields, Terry McLaurin this year, he finally got a good quarterback and we saw what that meant for him. He was a top 10 receiver. So I think Olave still has that in the range of outcomes, but I don't know if they will come on the Saints is the big issue. So it's a little bit of a long play here where, you just say to yourself, I'm banking on him getting to a better situation, hopefully in 2026. And he'll still give you some production. Like it's not like he's going to be terrible. But yeah, guys, we're going to start this up soon. There are some people out there watching, so hop in if you want to mock with us. Much better when we have more people in here. But I get it that not everyone. Some people just want to watch. That's fine too. But we'll give it just a couple more minutes. We have William in here, and then the two of us. But we can get just a few more people. Would be lovely.
Where's the Frito-Lay guy?
Rip Lips. He might be watching. I'm not sure, but
and Bo Sox are.
Yeah, maybe they're out there. It's Saturday morning. People got stuff to do too. So
yeah,
it's always that dead period, and we'll get a little bit more.
But the weather's kind of shitty in a lot of the country, or it's cold, so I don't know.
People shoveling snow,
or I don't know, sledding with the kids or something. I don't know.
Yeah. But yeah, we'll start this up here soon. And again, we will.
Would you allow people once we start? Would you allow people to join, or
once you start, I don't think you can join.
Okay.
So that's the downside of it. But yeah, we'll get it going, and then we'll see if more people join us, and we can redo another one or something. Oh, we just had someone join. SJFZ1. Don't recognize your name. I think it's the first time you're mocking with us. Welcome. So, but yeah, we'll do it. If we get more people watching as we progress, maybe we'll start up another one and get more people in there. So, just going to make sure I have all these settings right. I'm going to put 60 seconds on the clock. We just got another person joining, which is great.
Good job.
At the 1:05 there. But yeah, last chance to join if you want to join. We're going to be starting up in just a minute here. No computer auto picks. We'll give you a minute and a half just to give us time to talk as well. Rookies, linear, and we're going to start this bad boy up. So Cade here says, would you trade McMillan straight up for the 112 with the rumblings that Godwin is resigning? If someone offered me the 112 for Jalen McMillan, I would take it. I would definitely take it. I know there's potential there. He had a nice end to his season, and there's potential if he's the wide receiver too in Tampa. But they could also draft someone. They could bring back Godwin, like you said. So I think I'm fine with just cashing out there, getting a first round pick for Jalen McMillan. Do you agree there, Dad, or do you kind of?
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of hate. He's kind of I guess you have to be a little patient on McMillan now if Godwin is going to re-sign. So, I mean, what's your patience level? How many more years is Godwin and Evans going to do it? Sometimes this dynasty stuff, when you draft these guys, you might have to wait a year or something. Not everybody's going to be a slam dunk right now. And certainly at 112, if you feel like gambling a little bit at do it. Take that 112.
Yeah, I think I would take the 112 just because there's also we have to be realistic about Jalen McMillan was good to end the year. It was very touchdown heavy as well, and we saw a stretch like that with Jahan Dotson. People would have been like, no way you trade Jahan Dotson for the 112, right?
Look what that turned into.
Exactly, and look what it is. So there's that kind of range of outcomes. So I feel comfortable doing that. You could definitely lose that trade 100%. You could lose that, but you could also just all right, I cashed out and I got it, and also the player you get could just be better than Jalen McMillan. So. But great, SJ. I'm going to call you SJ. First timer, good to have you. We're going to start this bad boy up for the people that have been waiting. We got 6 people in here, so that's solid. Again, I'm going to give you 30 seconds as we answer this question. If you want to join the mock, last chance. We got 6 spots remaining. We're going to start it up after we talk about this real quick. You have the 105, 111, 202, and the 208 in my draft. Very strong receiver, not so much a running back. Would you trade the 111 for Kenneth Walker? Or keep those picks. Ooh, that's an interesting one. We can talk about that. Let's look at who goes at the 111 in this draft, and we'll come back to that, Paul, because that's an interesting one for sure.
Remember, the draft's running back heavy, so there's 3, 4 guys, 5 guys, maybe.
Yep. All right, we're going to start this up. I'm going to make the picks for the computers here, and I'm going Go back to dark mode. Obviously, 101 is Ashton Genty. He's the 101 in every single draft. He goes to the Broncos here. Great landing spot. And, there's just not much to argue there. So at the 101. At the 102, I think if I were to do this draft this way, or if this draft were to fall this way, I should say, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw Caleb Johnson go here. He goes to the Cowboys in the second round. He's the running back out of Iowa, goes to the Cowboys in the second round. I think people are going to love that spot. And even though he's the third running back taken, even though there's first-round wide receivers taken and quarterbacks, I could see Caleb Johnson going here at the 102. So wouldn't be shocked there. As we have the 103, again, we are using landing spots. If you want to base it off of that, that's fine. If you don't and you want to take other players, that's fine too, because it's just more of a reference than anything. But we're playing in this world. I left the link to the mock draft that we're basing it off of here in the chat as well. As always, guys, if you're watching, make sure to hit the like button. Gets more eyes on the video. And, of course, subscribe if you're new. We go live 3-4 times a week. This week only twice. Trying to go live a lot, get these reps in and these rookie drafts, and we'll do Dynasty startup drafts. We're going to put together real money leagues. Here in March. So if you want to join and join some real leagues and compete against us and the other listeners, then join our Discord here. As SJ, you got about 20 seconds there to make your pick. But yeah, join our Discord. If you want to join our Discord, we'll give you team reviews if you want to get some team reviews in, and all of that's a good stuff. I didn't even mention this is a super flex league. This is a 12-team super flex PPR league. So SJ, if you want to, I don't know if you're still watching, but you ran out of time here. You can put it in the chat, give you about 30 seconds to respond there, and I can pick the player for you. If not, I will just grab Tet McMillan. And you're at the 104, Dad. Do you have your pick already lined up?
I do.
All right. Are you going to get sniped, maybe?
Sniped?
Yeah, am I gonna steal the pick here? I'm not sure. Okay, SJ had to leave, so I'm gonna take Tet McMillan here for him, who gets drafted to the Saints at the 9th pick. So we can talk about that spot there. He says Tet, please. Okay, so we did take Tet. Yeah, we can talk about that landing spot, but you are on the clock there. Cam Ward at the 104.
Taking the quarterback.
He's just super flex leagues. Got to take the quarterbacks.
Yes.
Yeah.
Need 2 to 3 viable starting quarterbacks, and
yeah. Yes, indeed. We see Omarion Hampton go here, and now in this mock draft, he fell to the end of the 3rd round. But he went to the Vikings, which is an incredible landing spot for him. And he's awesome, man. I wouldn't be surprised if Omarion Hampton turns into the best running back in this draft class. Obviously, a lot of people talk about Genty, but I wouldn't be shocked if it was Hampton here. So
Hampton,
I'll go.
Yeah, he's a do-it-all back. He's last 2 years, 1,500 yards rushing, each year. He blocks, he catches.
Mm-hmm.
He's a big boy, 220, 225. So,
yep, absolutely. I went Luther Burden for the team at the 106. You could make an argument that Burden could go over Tet McMillan here. Burden goes to the Cowboys, 12th overall. I think that's a way better spot than the Saints. There are only 3 picks separating them. Tet McMillan is picked 9th, Luther Burden 12th. You can make the argument the Cowboys is a way better spot just because of the offense. They have a more established quarterback. But
I like Luther.
Yeah, Luther Burden's an interesting one. So I'll go Travion Henderson at the 107. Henderson in this draft is the 2nd running back off the board, going to the Raiders. So he links up with Pete Carroll. And, does he become their Marshawn Lynch? Travion Henderson, my RB3. It's Genty, Hampton, Henderson. I wouldn't be shocked if Henderson turns out to be the best running back there. So, Sniper, yeah, we started it up, so you won't be able to join. But if you want to make the pick for the team at the 109, Sniper, go ahead and I'll select it for you. So, for the team at the 109 there, at the 108. I'll go ahead and take Shedeur Sanders. I don't think he should fall that far. Again, super flex league and stuff like that. So Vic says, in my view, when it comes to super flex, you should prioritize selecting the best player available. I believe Hampton in the Vikings uniform. Sure, yeah, you can definitely make that case there.
That's good. That's a good point there.
Yep, you can definitely
best player.
The reason why quarterbacks tend to go higher is just the positional advantage, right? Like there's a lot. They don't have to do as much to be more valuable than the other guys. Even if Cam Ward is the QB 15 consistently throughout his career, he's going to be more valuable than Omarion Hampton if Omarion Hampton's the RB, 15 throughout the next few years, just because people need quarterbacks. Also for quarterbacks, and I see your pick there, Sniper, so I'll take it. Also for quarterbacks, the cheapest place to get them now is through the rookie draft. In order to acquire even a top 15, top 17 quarterback, it usually takes more than just one first-round pick.
Slash your wrist.
Yeah, so even like a Jared Goff, you probably can't just give up a mid to late first-round pick for him. You have to give up a little bit more. So, yeah, but I agree. Hampton and Vikings is I love that landing spot for a running back. The Vikings in the end of the third. I think it's a great landing spot here. So we have Boots the Cat on the clock here at the 110. Hopefully he's still with us. Sniper said Travis Hunter at the 109. How are you feeling with that pick? Not knowing what he's going to really play as. Are you comfortable with a late first, or do you want to maybe push it a little further?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. A lot of little uneasiness there. So I know he had to say one way or another, what he was going to go to the combine for. And obviously I think there's some financial part of it too, like, hey, where's the best possibility for me to make the most money as? And it could be as a DB,
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. We see Quinshon Judkins at the 111. Interesting, man. There's still a lot of good players. I'm really liking the draft, the rookie draft, especially this last pick. And again, if you guys watch my videos, you hear me say it over and over and over. If I'm in this range, in 104, 103, 104, 105, I want to trade back to the 108, 109, 110 type of range here. I just do, because if you're telling me, do I prefer Caleb Johnson or do I prefer Quinshon Judkins in a future first? Give me Quinshon Judkins in a future first easily. So,
it's
real quick before you get to that, I'm going to pause the draft real quick. Let us know in the chat if you're watching, what's your favorite first round pick here, as I rounded off with Jackson Dart, who, by the way, Jackson Dart gets drafted to the Rams, 26th overall. So I'm playing in the world that Stafford's gone. And but let us know who your favorite pick in the first round is. Go ahead, Dad. What were you going to say?
No, it's I remember I don't know, early in January started looking at the rookie drafts and stuff like that, and I'm like, this is not too good, or who in the hell are these guys? And then once you start, you can kind of whip yourself into a frenzy a little bit, and you start, watching YouTube videos and reading about them and listening to people. So, it's looking a little better than it did about a month and a half ago.
For sure. And I think with all these running backs, there's going to be, like, I just got a quarterback drafted in the first round at the 112, right? There's still a tight end that wasn't taken. That was a first round pick, and a wide receiver that was a first round pick. So there's still first round picks that are going to fall to you in the second round, most likely, because these running backs that we all think are really good. And William says he likes Omarion Hampton at the 105. Sniper says Jackson Dart on the Rams is an elite pick. So there's just a lot of good value here. And again, I'm just a fan of trading back and saying, you know what, I'm going to get Judkins and a 2026 first instead of Tet McMillan. I'll take the Judkins side, who, by the way, Judkins went to the Browns, 94th overall. So it's a good pick there. Good pick there. I'm not even a big Jackson Dart fan, but he's getting hype, and for him to go to the Rams there, assuming
he had a good Senior Bowl, so that helped, and he's already said he's going to be throwing at the combine, so that's if he does well and if he looks good, then everybody's going to start tooting his horn a little bit, and
yeah. SJ's on the clock. Let me know if you're still here, SJ. If not, I'll make the pick for you. But I went Emeka Ibuka, who's a first-round pick. He's he's 21st overall, and you're getting him here in the second at the 201. But he goes to the Steelers, which I think we're a little bit uneasy about. By the way, Dad, you are on the clock. Colston Loveland, I took, also a first-round pick, went to the Chargers. I think he probably goes even higher because what's the narrative? Loveland to the Chargers. Reuniting with Harbaugh. Herbert loves the tight end. Like, there's this large narrative here. So when you make your pick, I'm going to ask you a question. By the way, make sure to hit the like button, guys. If we want to do another one, we will do another one. If there's enough people that are interested in doing it, we will absolutely do another one for you guys. So all leagues have their unique dynamics, but I recall similar discussions. Yeah, exactly. No, you're right, Vic. You're right in your stance. I'm not even saying I half agree. I kind of agree with your view there of sometimes just take the best player available. By the way, you have 30 seconds there on the clock. My view when it comes to quarterbacks, and I felt this way with Bo Nix, and Bo Nix kind of fell a little bit in drafts. Even Michael Penix, that scouting quarterbacks, whether you're an NFL scout or not, is hard to do. And NFL gets it wrong all the time, and we're going to get it wrong all the time. So I tend to lean towards, if the NFL thinks this guy is a top 5 pick, I have to respect that to a certain extent. And so knowing that it's really hard to kind of look and scout these guys. So, but yeah, I agree. If you made that same move with Kenny Pickett, you would have had a failed first-round pick, right? So, but at the same time, what if you made that move with Jalen Hurts? What if you said, you know what, Jalen Hurts, second-round pick, he can run the ball, he's going to the Eagles, I'm going to take a chance on him in the mid-second or something, then you stole one there. So we see Devin Neal, Trey Harris, and Cam Scattaboo go off the board. I'm going to happily take Matthew Golden here, one of my guys. By the way, Sniper, if you're still here, you can still be the 109, so prepare for that. I'm going to go Matthew Golden. I love Matthew Golden. I go back and forth between him and Emeka Ibuka as my wide receiver 3. The way I look at it, Golden has a little bit more upside, whereas Ibuka is going to be a little bit of a safer floor, with upside, of course, but more of a safer floor there. So another guy that I think might not fall this far, again, this is not a tight end premium league, but Elijah Arroyo, if the Chiefs draft a tight end in the second round and Kelsey's gone, people are going to fall in love with that. Absolutely. And Arroyo, to me, is the tight end 3. By the way, my question for you, Dad, was Tyler Warren to the Colts, Colston Loveland to the Chargers. Who are you taking? Who do you like more in a vacuum, and who are you taking?
Yeah, that's a loaded question because Michigan and Loveland and Chargers, I think that's just a better fit. I've heard some things about Tyler Warren, I don't want to say concerning, but they say Loveland is a little more like Kelsey, and Tyler Warren's a bigger guy who can block, but he they don't think. I was listening to Mike Mayock, and he was just kind of saying, "Yeah, he's going to be good tight end, but I don't know. Loveland is definitely the guy, and going to the Chargers is a great fit."
See, I'm team Tyler Warren with Vic here, and one of the reasons.
I don't like him going to the Colts. That's what the only thing.
So let me ask you this. And by the way, we need to get back to the 111 idea here. So I'll pause it at the end of the second round here. I'll see if Sniper's here. But did you love Brock Bowers going to the Raiders? Most people
No.
didn't. Yeah,
of course not.
And he was the tight end one.
Yeah.
Last year. So like, I agree. That is I'm a little bit hesitant there.
Well, hopefully, a good tight end is good for a young quarterback. They usually become his best pal or something like that.
Yeah.
So maybe Anthony Richardson can kind of get his crap together. And here's good wide receivers.
Here's my thing about Warren is that he could do so much. It's going to be very hard to take him off the field. I think Tyler Warren scored a touchdown, and he was like lined up as the center on a play. Like the dude can run the ball. He can block as a fullback. He can block as an inline tight end. He can obviously catch the ball. He's going to be a red zone. He can do everything that you're not going to be able to take him off the field. And that's like half the battle for tight ends is, are you on the field enough? And then what my concern with Loveland is he more of a Kincaid type where Kincaid doesn't do all the dirty work at the tight end position. And for that reason, Kincaid, if you look at his snap share, is not on the field enough to be consistent. 42%, 53, 63, 62, 80, 73, 54. So that's my big thing is that they're using him as a big
slot Knox there to do the dirty work. So that's kind of
but that's the issue though, right? Like you're not on the
with
field.
The Chargers, they don't really have I mean, I don't know if they still got Will Dissly and stuff like that, but so I don't know. Loveland, I watched Loveland play for 3 years, and he's definitely pretty good.
No, Loveland is good, but it's just he's a big slot. He's not the dirty work tight end type of guy, right? Like, and I know people are saying, well, you don't get points in fantasy for blocking, but you get on the field, and that's going to lead to points. So I am team Warren over Loveland, even with these landing spots here. So looks like Boots the Cat didn't make the pick here, and so I'll just go ahead and grab one for him here. And Vic says, why does everyone seem to like Warren in the Colts? I'm a bit puzzled by it. Maybe AR will improve, or maybe he won't. Why does everyone seem to like him or not like him, Vic? He seems to get drafted here a lot, right? In mock drafts. So I don't know. I'm not super worried. I mean, obviously I'd rather him go to like the Chargers, right? Or something. That would be great. But
I think to answer his question is because Warren is enough of a talent to be going into that position where the Colts are drafting at. What is it, 14, 15?
Yeah.
And so it's almost too good. It's almost
14.
Yeah, it's almost too good to pass up. I think. It's like, hey, this is the next guy who's got talent, and you shouldn't ignore it. So yeah, take him, I guess.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, again, either Anthony Richardson improves or they're going to find a different solution there. So like, I'm not super worried about that. And again, like there's a less that you need to do as a tight end to be relevant as well. So I agree. I've seen him go to the Jets. I've seen him go to the Saints at the 109. I think that's an interesting spot for him. So, I mean, what about the Cowboys? Could the Cowboys take him 12th overall? Why not? Like, why wouldn't the Cowboys do it? So, so here we have, I want to go back to, and hopefully he's still here, the 111. So essentially, would you trade Kenneth Walker? Would you rather a Kenneth Walker or a Quinshon Judkins or Tyler Warren or Jackson Dart? Like who would you prefer in that range there, Dad? Would you prefer Kenneth Walker versus Judkins? Kenneth Walker.
I really like Kenneth Walker, and the problem is he's the health issue. But maybe Judkins is that's kind of hard to turn down.
It is. You're kind of resetting.
And Dart with the Rams, that's another one that's very hard to ignore.
Yeah. It's kind of feels like you could lose out on that, but I think I'm fine with resetting that, because if Walker doesn't produce again this year, you're never getting a first-round pick for him again, most likely.
Yeah, you're right on that one.
You're kind of just resetting it. You're getting, for a lot of people, the RB 4 or 5 in this draft, which is, is saying something considering how deep it is. And, you're getting a good landing spot, or you're getting the QB3, or you're getting the tight end 1 in this draft. So, I don't mind that at all. J Flash, you said a 1 quarterback, 12 team. And by the way, let us know who your favorite second round pick is there in that second round. But 1 quarterback, 12 team, start 10 PPR, tight end 1.5. So you're getting 2.5 points per reception for tight ends is how I read that. Would you take Laporta or the 109 and the 301? So Laporta or let's just say Tyler Warren and whoever goes at the 301 here, which I probably would take someone like a Savion Williams or something. I'm probably just going to keep Laporta. I'm going to keep Laporta. I mean, you can make an argument that it's Tyler Warren. Actually, I shouldn't say that, because I don't think Tyler Warren lasts that long in a 1.5 tight end premium. So you're probably looking at like a Judkins, maybe Shedeur Sanders range. So I don't mind. Yeah, I don't mind doing that. Actually. I don't mind making that trade, but it's kind of like I want a little bit more for Laporta in a 1.5 tight end premium. So I think I'd want a little bit more. Billy says Golden in the mid-second seems like a steal these days. Yeah. I love Golden, man. To me, he's in contention to be my wide receiver 3 when all is said and done. I think he has more upside than Ibuka. I love Ibuka too. I think Ibuka is probably like Jordan Addison-like production. I'm not saying they produce in the same way, but in terms of like what they give you for fantasy, the Addison type of guys, maybe Devontae Smith type of guys with the, they're very similar. Whereas like Golden, he could be worse than that, but I still think he could get into like a little bit more consistent top 15 here. And Golden, he goes to the Titans. So, it could be the wide receiver 1 in a year's time, but we will continue here. Again, guys, make sure to hit the like on this stream. If you want to do another rookie draft, I see we have it looks like 18 people watching. If we want another one we want to do another one, start up another one, I'm happy to. I'm actually gonna set it up, and I'm gonna leave the invite link in the chat here. Dad, I'm putting it in the private chat first, so you can join just in case it gets filled up. You can join the second one here, but we're gonna continue on here with the draft, and still some players that Harold Fannin is an interesting one. I think he's a bit of a tweener, but the Broncos take him 51st overall. Like could he become their joker? Their Joker-like guy, potentially. So I'll take a shot on him here. Again, it is a non-tight end premium, so that is something to remember here.
I don't think your second draft is I'm seeing guys like Josh Allen here.
Yeah, I'll fix all that in a bit. And then I'm going to go with Savion Williams. And every time I draft Savion Williams out of TCU, I say a little bit of a prayer, and I say, please, whoever drafts Savion Williams, please use him as like Cordero Patterson, please. Because if you use him like Cordero Patterson, the dude's going to be an absolute weapon for your team. He can line up in Wildcat. He can run routes out of the backfield. He can run wide receiver routes He's not a very good route runner, so just like trying to line him up and say go win on the outside is not going to work. But he had 50 carries in college this last year, a lot of it out of the Wildcat and stuff. So yeah, that's I like the Royals pick. I thought I already picked Royals, but
yeah, I couldn't believe he was there. I was like,
yeah, I really like that pick. Let him fall. Yeah, I agree, Vic, that I dislike that landing spot. But man, they desperately need it. So I think we're in play for a wide receiver there for sure. We're absolutely in play. So if you guys want to join the next one, click on the link here. This will be the next one. If we get half of it filled, we'll do it. If we get less than that, maybe we won't run it. Or maybe we'll just run the first 2 rounds or something. As we see Isaiah Bond go off the board here.
Good pick.
Yeah, my only issue with Bond is just like the lack of production. I think he had like 2 games in his college career over 100 yards. And it's just like, why? You played at Alabama and Texas. You should have been a little bit better. I guess, I don't know. I'm gonna take a shot on Quinn Ewers here. I'm not a Quinn Ewers guy. And generally, if a quarterback goes in the 3rd round, there has to be one of 2 things that have to happen. One, they have to be able to run the ball, like Jalen Milroe. If they can run the ball, I'll take a shot because that's fantasy cheat code. 2, they have to follow a team that can develop quarterbacks. One of those 2 things have to happen. So like the Rams taking a quarterback in the 3rd round, I'm okay with taking a shot on that quarterback. Now, Quinn Ewers went to the Jets. So that was like none of those things happened. So I'm probably out on him, but I do think people will still take a shot on Quinn Ewers in the Superflex League because they know the name. And he has a chance to, potentially be the guy for the Jets there. I'm going to go with a DJ Giddens, a running back I really like here. So I'll take DJ Giddens and RJ Harvey, 2 running backs that I'm interested in. And then just to get this third round done with, let's go with Tez Johnson. Why not? None of these guys were drafted in this mock draft, so we don't have landing spots. Yeah, I do dislike the Ibuka landing spot for sure, but he could just be George Pickens is not a target hog type of player. So he could just be a better, more of a target hog type of player here. So
yeah, don't forget Pittsburgh drafted Roman Wilson last year and he's been injured all year. So
yep.
Don't know what it's going to turn into, but he was a 2nd round pick last year for Steelers.
Yep. Yeah, you're exactly 100% right. I'll go ahead and take Xavier Restrepo, and we'll stop it here, and we'll switch over to the next one and see if we get more people in there. Again, if you want to join this mock draft, this time we're going to do a tight end premium league, so see how that changes things up. So we're going to stop this one, and as I adjust all of these, we have 1, 2, 3. If we have 4 people in there, I'd like to get at least 2 more people, if not full. If we only have these 4, maybe we'll just run 2 rounds or something as I fix the settings here a little bit. What do you think of Ollie Gordon, who heading into this year, he went in the 3rd round of this last draft. He went at the 303. What do you think of Ollie Gordon? And like the dude was like the number 1 running back, Ashton Genty, before Ashton Genty was here.
I'm not sure.
And then he fell off.
Yeah. Did he fall off because of injury or?
He just didn't produce. He wasn't really injured this year. I think he played the entire season. So here's his college career. He has an okay, he doesn't do much his freshman year. His sophomore year, he has 2,000 total yards and 22 touchdowns. And then in 2024, he had just over 1,050 total yards, 14 touchdowns. His yards per attempt dropped by 1.5. His yards per reception dropped by over 2 yards per reception. I don't know. It's interesting. It's like, can a team find what made him special there. So I still like Ollie quite a bit, is what Billy says. You cannot disregard his 2023 season. Yeah, and again, we're talking about him going in the 303, right? Like we're talking about him going in the early third. You're fine to take that risk there. The one guy I keep comparing him to, and they both went to Oklahoma State, is Chuba Hubbard. That Chuba Hubbard had an amazing sophomore year, rushed for over 2,000 yards. And a lot of people I didn't even realize this until I looked just a few weeks ago, that I kind of have a blind spot of football in that time when I was in Korea. But he rushed for over 2,000 yards his sophomore year, was a 5-star recruit coming out of high school, Chuba Hubbard, and then had a terrible third year. And then he fell to the 4th round, I think it was, to the Panthers. And now look at Chuba Hubbard. We're like, holy crap. Now, Chuba Hubbard did get hurt in 2020. No, it was the 2020 season. It was the COVID year. So I think he missed some games, but it was also just a weird year. So, yeah, just kind of interesting there with Ollie Gordon. I do think I'm willing to take a shot on him. If we have anyone else that wants to join, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 6 spots left, so we will definitely run another one here. This one we're going to do as a tight end premium. We're going to do as a tight end premium league. So we're going to do PPR. I'll put it in the chat here, but we're going to do a Superflex, 12-team Superflex PPR, and we're going to do a 1.5 tight end premium. So a massive tight end premium here. So tight ends are getting 2.5 points per reception. So we'll see how that changes things a little bit. We will start up in about a minute. Again, we do have landing spots. So if you missed that, the link is back up near the top here. Athlon Sports put out a 3-round mock. It's kind of hard to find some three-round mocks at this point. So make sure to check that out for the landing spots. Billy says, I still like Ollie quite a bit. You can't disregard his 2023 season. Haven't heard anything on Ollie Gordon's weight and conditioning, but I know he played heavier this year. Oklahoma State falling off. Don't love his vision, but 3rd-round value works for me. Yeah, I think those are all fair. I'd take him early 2nd if he gets any kind of decent landing spot. Yeah, no, I think I agree there. He runs like Derrick Henry light to me. Yeah, he is pretty big. He came in to the Senior Bowl as 233, 235 or something.
Oh, that's pretty big.
Yeah, he's a big boy. But yeah, I think Oklahoma State, they kind of fell off too in general. But all right, we're going to start this up here. Again, 12-team Superflex PPR, 1.5 point tight end premium. So tight ends are getting 2.5 points per reception. Let's start it up. And again, it's boring, but Ashton Genty, let me turn off the sound there. Ashton Genty is.
Yeah, I got to silence that.
101 here. I am going to change to 1.5 minutes here just to give people some time to talk. I don't want to just take Caleb Johnson again, but I just think that landing spot is way too juicy to not take him there. So I'm just going to take Caleb Johnson going to the Cowboys at the 102 here. So we are at the 103. We'll see. From no one picks it. Yeah, it is a little boring. I'm interested. Let me see Travion Henderson go at the 103. I'm interested to see it. How can Genty not be the 101? Does he have to fall and another ready? If Amarion Hampton and Genty are only a few picks apart, and we let's just say, I don't know, Genty goes to in this draft the Broncos, and then Hampton gets drafted by the Chargers, 22nd overall. Does that come into play? Wait.
Absolutely, it comes into play.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah, the way you want these running backs, these top running backs, going to teams that use them.
Stevie, did you get in? You might be on a bit of a delay. Stevie, if you didn't get in, go ahead and choose one of these teams that don't have, and you can just leave your pick in the chat. You might be on a little bit of a delay. I don't know. Sorry if you didn't get in there, though. We see Tyler Warren. Someone made an interesting point that if the Cowboys pass up on Genty, does that actually make us worried about him? Does that give us some fear about Genty? Like, why didn't the Cowboys take him? Now, Cowboys have made a lot of dumb mistakes and stuff in the past. So, but it's an interesting point because they obviously need a running back. He would bring a lot of people to the stadium as well. As we see Omarion Hampton go there at the 107. I took Tyler Warren at the 104. A 1.5 point tight end premium. I could see him going that high. I really could see him going that high. Ted McMillan went. I'll go ahead and take Colston Loveland here. So we see the big jump, obviously, from him in the second round in the last one to now going, mid to late first round. And then I'm going to take, let me see if Stevie messaged. He didn't. I'm going to go Luther Burden here at the 109. But you see how tight end premium, like, it makes this draft even more intriguing because now you're getting Luther Burden at the 109 or whoever else is going to go here afterwards. So makes it very intriguing for sure. We got Travion Henderson gone, Caleb's gone. Just marking off here as I go. His Trash Pile Mafia is on the board. Shador Sanders. I mean, look at that. You're getting the 6th overall pick at the quarterback position at the 110, right? Like that's pretty interesting there. The Bears landing spot with Swift or for Genty is interesting to me because he should just take over the backfield. But does Ben Johnson, does he want to run a split backfield, maybe 60-40? Yeah. Remember, they moved on from Swift. The Lions did when Ben Johnson was their offensive coordinator. Now he still was productive. Well,
that's because they drafted Gibbs. They
didn't.
5 minutes later, they traded him to the Eagles. Swift.
Yeah, that was during the draft, huh? Yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and take Jackson Dart here at the 111. Steve says he's having technical difficulties. Nice, Billy. Welcome. Make sure, guys, appreciate everyone here. Fun doing this. I imagine as we get further and closer to the NFL draft, we're going to get more people wanting to join these. So it's good that you guys are here. But join us all off season. We'll be doing this. We'll be doing startup mock drafts as well. We're going to be doing real money leagues. If you want to play in some leagues with us and the other listeners, then join our Discord. We're going to start that up here very soon in March. So I think we have enough for 1, maybe 2 leagues. So we're going to, if you're interested in joining more, we'll do it for money as well. Because that always makes it doesn't have to be a lot, but would make it more intriguing for sure. I better make a pick here. I guess I'm going to go. Where does Mason Taylor go? Yeah, you know what? I'm going to take. I'll just take Ibuka. I don't love the landing spot, but I still think he's a good player. So I'll go ahead and take Emeka Ibuka there, and then Jackson Dart's already gone. I'll let the chat pick this one. First name that I see who you think should go at the 201, I will draft that player. So the first name I see pop up, I'm going to take it. I don't want to make all these picks just myself sometimes. So first name I see at the 201. We'll let the chat do it. If not, Dad, you'll be plan B if no one says anything.
Okay. I already got somebody in mind.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, just look at this. Oh, I see Golden. Matthew Golden it is, who goes to the Titans. Now, what's interesting about this is, so you think, oh yeah, Matthew Golden to the Titans, 34th overall. They didn't take a quarterback in this mock draft. So the world we're living in, it's either Will Levis or a quarterback that they bring in from free agents, which is probably more likely. Loveland, we already took at the 108. So Loveland's long gone in a tight end premium league. I'm curious that if it's a 1.5 point tight end premium, does Elijah Arroyo, who goes to the Chiefs in this mock draft, does he go even higher than this? Are people going to fall in love? Kelsey gone potentially, and Elijah Arroyo going to the Chiefs. I think people absolutely fall in love with that. Quinshon Judkins was an easy pick. I kind of forgot about Judkins.
Yeah, I was hoping he was going to fall to me.
Yeah,
all the way to 7, but
no, that's a great pick. I
know.
I had him already marked off, I think, from the other one, and just completely missed that. So that's a great pick there. But I am interested to see if someone like Elijah Arroyo gets a big boost because of that. I'll take a shot on Travis Hunter here. I think this is the area where I'm willing to gamble on him. If we don't know what position he's going to play, is this early to mid second round? Because if he's a wide receiver full time, the dude is in contention to be the 102 in this draft. That's how good he is. And we see Brando going Ward and Jalen Milroe. So, yeah, he's taking the route of, super flex, give me those quarterbacks. So that's not a bad strategy at all. I kind of like Milroe with the Browns too. I think Stefanski's a good coach that can kind of mold an offense around the quarterback. So, and here we see Ollie Gordon, 206. So everything we talked about Ollie Gordon, who doesn't go in this mock draft, by the way, is this a little bit too high for you, or for anyone in the chat watching, or do you think it's still okay to take a shot here on Ollie? And you guys in the chat, because I know, Dad, you're picking, so you can hold off on that question there. But yeah, this is it's still good. Like, man, still some good picks. Like when the tight end premium comes into play a little bit here, it really, with all how many running backs there are too, like it makes these picks pretty interesting. I'm gonna go with a guy that wasn't drafted, but I'm a big Dylan Sampson guy out of Tennessee. I have Genty in his own tier. I have Hampton and Travion Henderson together. I'm almost tempted to put Hampton one tier higher, but I'm putting them together for now. And then I have Caleb Johnson, Quinshon Judkins, and then Dylan Sampson to me is in that tier. He's that damn good. Like the guy's so good. Who's landing spot? SJ? Are you talking about Sampson or Ollie Gordon or who? Sampson's awesome. The analytics are there, the production's there, and like SJ said, the film is there. If you go and type in Dylan Sampson weakness, the only thing you're getting, the number one thing you're going to see most of the time is size, and someone that he's kind of the same as Bucky Irving. Like not the same, but Bucky Irving, that's what everyone was saying. That's his weakness, right? And look what happened there. It's like, why are we ignoring the production, the film, the analytics, everything, but we're ignoring it because of size? Tank Dell was kind of that way too. Of course, Tank Dell got hurt, but I don't know, just very interesting. Ollie Gordon didn't get drafted in this one, so he actually falls out of the first 3 rounds. So if that does happen, I think it's a little bit early for Ollie. But again, if you believe in him, like go get your guy, Absolutely go get your guy. I'll take Io Manor here. And then, guys, the first name I see at the 301 is who I'm going to take. And I'm going to take Harold Fan in there. So real quick, I'm going to pause it here. Dad, I wanted to ask you about Mason Taylor. So he goes to the Bengals.
Yeah, that was
overall.
Man, that's money. You ask me. That guy was really good at the first off, that's Jason Taylor's son. But he was really producing at the Senior Bowl. So those 4 tight ends that we got, well, I know there's 5 on here. I don't know much about Fanning, but first 4 tight ends are really good. So they should, hopefully they go to the right situation. It's kind of funny. I remember, when was it? I guess it was with Bowers last year, and I'm trying to think who else came out, but they said, well, the tight ends got to learn so much. They got to learn how to block. They got to run routes. They got to play inside. They got to play outside. So it's
Ben Sinnott was the other.
What's that?
He was the second. Ben Sinnott was the other tight end.
Yeah, maybe it was the year before, but anyway, so that the tight ends got to learn a lot and stuff like that. So hopefully these guys, these top 4 or 5 guys can go in and produce. Did you know, I heard that Theo Johnson who was a Penn State tight end, he was ahead of Tyler Warren, was more highly thought of than Tyler Warren.
You mean, well, yeah, while they're in college together?
Yeah, while they were in college and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's kind of crazy. Theo Johnson was drafted by the fourth round by the Giants, and
I think it was even later. I think it might have been 5th round. Maybe it was 4th. You might be right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if he was. I don't know if he really.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I don't know if he had a chance to produce or not. So.
Well, he like tore his ACL or something, but he was playing a lot. Yeah, Warren, he only put up. I mean, he put up 400 yards in 2023, but he didn't really have much production until this year. But I see you guys saying Devin Neal. I will be taking Devin Neal here at the 301. Harold Fannon's an interesting one to me because he's a tweener. In this draft, he goes to the Broncos, like I said, 51st overall. The reason why tweeners are interesting because like Mike Gesicki, Jonnu Smith, Chiga Conquo, these, Isaiah Likely, these are all tweener guys. You can make an argument that those tight ends, in terms of just pure pass catchers, are better than a lot of other people that are producing, better than like the Cade Ottens of the world in terms of catching the ball, right? But teams, they're not good enough to be just a full-on slot guy, right? Because they're not good enough to maybe beat NFL corners consistently, and they can't really do all the dirty work as a tight end. So you have to go to the right team that's willing to use you. Jonnu Smith did with the Dolphins, and look what he did. But where was Jonnu Smith before this? He was on the Patriots that didn't want to use him that way. Mike Gesicki's another guy, went to the Patriots. There's a common trend there. He went to the Patriots. They didn't use him that way. And we know Mike Gesicki's a talented guy. So Fannon's going to have to go to that team. And I assume if a team's going to draft him, 51st overall, that they're going to use him the right way. So, but I see everyone saying Devin Neal here needs to go. And I kind of agree. I like Devin Neal a lot. Super just productive. People love Devin Neal, by the way. So there's that too. You always have to think about in Dynasty, that side of things, the psychology of like, oh, this player's loved or this player's hated. Caleb Williams, Shedeur Sanders is another one. People might not like Shedeur Sanders as much as because of Dion and, he's going to choose his team he wants to go to, blah, blah, blah. I don't know. And that's going to make it easier for, if they don't do well, to move them down the board. So I'll take Devin Neal, and then I'm going to take Jalen Royals here, who I love Jalen Royals. And I see Billy here says he has him with the second round grades. I just never see him mocked to a good team. Like he goes to the Ravens and it's like, well, that sucks. Here he goes to the Cardinals, even though he's a top 50 pick, but at best, Jalen Royals is what? The third targeted player on that team behind McBride and Marvin Harrison. And then he still has to compete with Michael Wilson. I don't know. It's just, it's just tough sometimes. Like I just wish we see like Jalen Royals throw him on the Chargers or the Bengals with no T Higgins. Like I'm all over it, but I just see these like terrible landing spots for him. Royals, Harris, you mean Trey Harris, Billy? Because Trey Harris went 207 there. So Damian Martinez. Okay. I'll take Damian Martinez. By the way, I saw the Scattaboo pick here by Billy. I love Scattaboo. And the reason why, like if he goes in day 2 of the NFL draft in the 2nd or 3rd round, I could easily take him in the early 2nd round. Easily. Because the dude, yeah, he's probably going to run a slow 40 time, but he catches passes, he breaks tackles, and he pass blocks. And those things are going to translate to the NFL. They will translate to the NFL. So I hope he gets the day 2 draft capital. And I'm kind of all over Scattaboo if he is there. It's just he didn't get drafted in the first 3 rounds of this world we're living in. So I kind of skipped on him. I like the Besh pick, by the way. That's a nice pick. Going to the Patriots. I know a lot of people are worried about Patriots receivers, but the reason why Patriots receivers haven't done well, it's not because they go to New England, it's because Patriots haven't had a quarterback, since Tom Brady left. So you're on the clock, by the way. I don't know if you noticed.
Yes.
Okay. Quinn Ewers just went. Yeah, this is where Quinn Ewers is going to go, even though he goes 3rd round. Like someone's going to take a shot on him, and I don't I don't argue against it at all. IO Manor already went. You got 18 seconds on my.
Got it right here.
DJ Giddens. Yeah, I love DJ Giddens. He didn't get drafted in this, but he's fun. He's a fun player for sure. Out of Kansas State, super productive. Interesting, and I'm going to take him here, Billy. Tell me what you like about Rashard Smith. Is it just the pass catching, or do you think he can be a all-around type of player? Because I know he's pass catching wise, the dude's awesome, and he proved that at the Senior Bowl and stuff too. Do you think he can be more than just like that third down guy, or do you think he can? That's just going to be kind of his specialty? I'm going to take Savion Williams, and I'm going to. Oh wait, did someone already take him? No. I'm going to take Savion Williams. I'm going to say my prayer of, please, Raiders. I'm praying to the Raiders. Please use him like Cordero Patterson, please, because he's going to be awesome if you do. For fantasy, I don't know, but just as a weapon in the NFL, like the guy is the ball in his hands is like, he's one of the most talented athletes in this entire draft. He's like 6'5", he's fast, he can break tackles, fast for 6'5", and all of that. So Billy says he think he can be an all-around player, but mostly pass catching. He'd be a committee back probably. Okay, yeah, yep, indeed. And we're gonna run a fourth round. We got enough people in here. We're gonna run a fourth round. I know we're getting deep already, but we'll run a fourth round and see how it goes here. By the way, Billy, you are on the clock there. Terrence Ferguson out of Oregon. Nice. Yeah, he's another one. He's in that like Gunnar Helm kind of range of guys. So yeah, he's an interesting one here. I'm going to take Bashal Tootin. Kind of I've only scouted like one game of his, but I'm going to get more into him. But I like what I've seen so far and some of the analytical stuff with Tootin. I like it. Plus, you can make some pretty cool team names if you draft them. Tootin works for a lot.
Rootin'
Tootin. I guess I'll take Isaiah Bond here. Again, I'm just worried about the lack of production. I don't know. It's just he didn't produce. He just didn't produce. Jaden Higgins, I'll grab here at the 401. Goes to the Ravens, which I don't love, but still a intriguing player. And then why not Restrepo? We'll take Xavier Restrepo here, who I think has a nice floor. I just don't know what his ceiling is, really. Really don't know what his ceiling is, but doesn't get drafted in this draft. Still one more player from this mock draft that hasn't been drafted. And actually, he probably should have been, but we'll get to him when we do. Let me take Jarquez Hunter here of Auburn. He has some intriguing traits about him as well. I'm going to be taking a lot of running backs in this range for sure, just because there's so many of them. Do you have an idea who you're going to take there, Dad, at the
I do.
407?
And it happens to be a quarterback.
Hopefully it's not Dylan Gabriel, who just went.
Yep.
Okay. Well, there's only 4 in the database, so
yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, we have Brando here. He's just saying this is a super flex league, and I'm taking quarterback, so it's not a bad strategy at all. I would take LaQuint Allen at the top. Yeah, I'm not big on LaQuint Allen, but I know people really do like him out of Syracuse. I need to go. I don't want to. I definitely haven't made my. This is my finalized list, but I need to go back and watch him a little bit more and kind of see what others are seeing.
I reached
to Kyle McCord.
Yeah,
he led the nation in passing yards this last year.
Yeah,
Gunnar Helm was the guy I was like. He got drafted in this draft. He went to the Rams in the 3rd round, tight end premium. I think that's a steal.
Kyle McCord got kicked out of Ohio State because he couldn't beat Michigan, and
yeah.
Well, Will Howard can't beat Michigan either, so
Jaden Blue, I took at the 409. I saw him drafted. I saw him drafted in like the second round in a mock draft from NFL, somewhere on NFL.com. And so that made me think like, oh, do I need to go back and look at Jaden Blue? But any other guy? I mean, Torrey Horton is an interesting wide receiver out of Colorado State there. And then screw it, we'll go Michigan Mullins, who's a converted linebacker. And then we have Billy taking a run day. I think it's a run day Gadsden, the third or the second. If it's no Oronde, I believe. If he goes by the same name of his dad, I believe it is. Oronde is his dad, who was a wide receiver in the late 90s, early 2000s. If he goes by the same pronunciation, which I assume he would, Ty Felton. Yeah, Billy, I like your takes, and there's definitely a lot of guys I need to get to, and we need to get to, and appreciate you and everyone. We're going to be every Saturday morning. We go live every Monday. We try to go every Monday around 6 Eastern time. Wednesday a little bit later around 9:30 Eastern time. And then Saturday mornings noon, we'll be going live again. Rookie mock drafts, startup mock drafts, all that fun stuff. We'll do trade shows, Dynasty trade shows. We review teams. If you want your team reviewed, again, join our Discord and get in there. But yeah, that was fun. Obviously, when you get to that third, fourth round, there's still so much that's going to change. I mean, hell, even the first round, there's going to be a lot that changes. But it was good to do it. I
think I got Bucky Irving in a dynasty league in the third round last year.
Yeah, I mean Puka Nacua a couple years ago was a free agent for a lot of people,
right?
So yeah, there's always chances, and with how many good running backs there are, there's going to be a lot more hits. I think wide receivers. Quarterbacks, they're very hard to hit when they're drafted in the fourth, fifth round of the NFL draft. But, running backs are the ones that could hit for sure. So, and there's a lot of those. But we will be back again Monday. We'll go live again. We're going to be putting out a video tomorrow. So check that out. Appreciate all the support. Any last words there you want to say, Dad?
No, it's good to... good practice. This will definitely help everybody kind of see the lay of the land a little bit. Things might change after combine and pro days, but they won't change a whole lot. There'll be people moving up. Jackson Dart is a guy who comes to mind. Well, he'll probably, if he does well, if he tests well, he'll probably improve his draft status. So his real draft status, which will mean him more inviting for Dynasty.
Yeah, absolutely. But we're going to finish up there, guys. And we'll be back next week with some live shows, just talking Dynasty. It's what we do. So appreciate everyone. If you're watching on replay, like, subscribe, join our Discord. We'll see you all on Monday.